Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny. This video is Should You Have Sold in May, plus a good-looking bull flag. This is stock market analysis for the week of June 4th, 2018. If you would like to receive intra-week updates from me, go to www.attackthemarkets.com. Put in your first name, your best email address, and follow the directions to confirm that it was actually you that put in your information, and I will send you the intra-week updates. This includes something new I'm doing at the beginning of the week called the Barron's Breakdown, where I take the current issue of Barron's and break it down and send out a nice long email going over all the sections. It's actually going to be turning into a premium service, but for now, I'm offering it just if you sign up to the list. So sign up. Once you join the list, you will receive that. I send it out either Sunday nights or Monday, or of course, if it's a holiday, I may even wait till Tuesday morning. Okay. Second, if you would like to join the Facebook group, go to www.facebook.com/groups/attackthemarkets. You have to answer 3 simple questions. Just promise not to be a jerk to other people, and you'll be admitted into the Facebook group. Okay? That's where I like to post charts. When we see something, I'll throw a chart up there and annotate it and talk about it. All right, so let's talk about the market here. So, did you sell in May? Well, if you decided to sell at the beginning of May, you didn't really do that good, because while we did wind up dipping off of the opening for the month of May, we wound up closing pretty, nicely higher. I mean, decently higher for the month. This is in the S&P. In the Dow, not as great, but he was definitely still underwater. The Russell, of course, went to all-timers, and the mid-caps did well as also, and there's the Qs. So, sell in May and go away. Did it not work? And I'm doing air quotes like you can actually see me doing the air quotes. Well, it remains to be seen if it worked or not. Okay? Here's the deal. Just because we didn't sell off harshly in May doesn't mean that May wasn't an opportunity to get short. Maybe the trade was to get short at the close of May. Oh, yeah. The month of June started out on a good note, up just about 1% in the S&Ps, but it's not like it broke out or anything. So maybe the move was to sell into the last day of May, and maybe that was a better choice than to sell at the beginning. Remains to be seen. Now, in my opinion, that's not what the charts are saying here. The charts are saying that we are going to try to push it higher. However, June has historically, since 1950, been the worst month during the midterm elections. And that's what we're in. We're in the midterm election year. The average since 1950 has been a minus 1.9% decline. I have some other figures and stuff I'm going to send out to everybody that signs up for the email. Yes, it's an ethical bribe. So if you sign up to the free email list, I will be sending out some other stats as well. But I found that interesting that a lot of people, they say sell in May and go away, but yet June is the worst month historically, midterm election years. Now, for the NASDAQ, and this is all about the best 6, worst 6 months, which is made popular by the Stock Traders Almanac. A great book, by the way. If you don't own it, a new edition comes out every year. But the NASDAQ actually extends a little bit. Its best 6 months starts a month later, and it actually goes till June. So it's kind of odd that the SPY and the Dow actually their best 6 end early, but for the NASDAQ it goes till June. So anyway, so let's take a look here at the daily chart, and we see this dipsy-do here. This was the reopen for the week after the Memorial Day holiday. I hope everybody had a nice Memorial Day, by the way. And then by the end of the week, we were back up to the range and higher than where we had closed the week before, but we still haven't broken out. Now, we can use this level. It's 274s and change. We just call it 275. And if we can get a break, and if we can get some initiative buying, we should be able to spin up to the March highs up here in the 280s. okay, the mid-280s, and then perhaps go to those new all-time highs, which is where I think we're going. Now, this doesn't mean that that's going to happen this month. Doesn't mean it's going to happen soon. For those of you who've been watching my video, you know that I said that this could take a while. Okay, this consolidation took several months, basically all year up to this point. It's still consolidating. It's outside these blue lines, but it's still consolidating. So this could take several weeks to several months, but I do believe that we are going to those all-time highs. The 200-day moving average is my line in the sand. Okay, to be down 2%, right? It's 1.9. Let's just call it 2%. It's really not that much. Okay, but only from here it would. Let's see. So we ended May at 270. Or let's call it 271. Let's just call it 270 for the math. Okay, thank you. I'll spare my brain the math. So 2% would be what? 5.4 points. You're looking in the 264s. That would still be above the 200-day moving average. Okay, if we were to get a 1.9% decline from the June close. I'm sorry, from the May close. Pardon me. All right, so I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't use seasonals as triggers. I just use them as background, and then I'm always looking, of course, for the charts to show the triggers. Okay, so that's the S&P. The Dow looks about a little. It's weaker, but it looks similar. I really don't care that much about the Dow. Mid caps. They're lagging a little bit to their big sister, which is the Russell, but still acting okay. The NASDAQ, nice breakout to start June. Looks like it's going to the highs from here. And then you got the Russell, which is at the highs and consolidating. It's overbought, and maybe coupled with the NASDAQ popping up like that, maybe it's due a pullback. But for right now, nice and strong. So the Russell's strong, NASDAQ's acting strong. For those of you who have read my Best of Barron's, or my Barron's Breakdown, sorry, it's not the Best of Barron's. I think that's what they put out, but I put out the Barron's Breakdown. A lot of columns talking about, the Russell leading is not good. I don't agree with that. I was always taught that the Russell leading was a good thing. Okay, small cap speculation is good. So anyway, that's how that's looking. Let's look at the indices, the sectors. So semiconductors had a really nice start to the month, up 2.34%. Here's NVIDIA, looks like that's back on track to go to highs. Here's Clack Tanker, all right, KLA Tanker going higher. Here's Intel, boom, breakout. We've been watching this. It popped up middle of the week, pulled back, and then boom, just exploded back up. Here's ADI, headed for highs. How about Micron? Yeah, Micron acting a little strange. Definitely going against the grain. And Xilinx, all right, is still in its consolidation here. I actually have to make this triangle a little better. I don't know what the heck happened here. But anyway, okay, so there's your Xilinx, which is coiled up here. See if this is going to break as well. All right, banks. So the banks, they had a little weakness to start the week, but they did hold the 200-day moving average. They did bounce, really not acting that well, the banks. And you could see here we came just shy of the 200, bounced, hit the 200, bounced, hit the 200, bounced. What happens the next time it goes through? Right, it's weakening. It's started. Could it be weakening, and could it finally punch through? All right, we have a gap here that fills in the 101s, and then we have these lows down here, 96.75. So we're watching the banking index. His Bank of America, I mean, that's basically the way you would trade the banks if you don't want to trade an ETF, because it moves really nicely with it. Citigroup's still acting weak. Still one of the weaker bank stocks. JP Morgan looks similar. Okay, again, if coiled up here, if it breaks down the 200-day moving average, watch that for a move. Let's look at Bank of New York. Yeah, Bank of New York acting a little bit stronger. Here's Northern Trust acting a little bit stronger. Here's Zion holding the 50-day moving average. Here's Goldman Sachs. Yeah, so Goldman, even though it's technically a you want to call it a broker-dealer, but it acts more like a bank and it moves more with the banks. Definitely not acting well here. I'd be watching these lows to see if they get tested down in the 215 area. Here's the broker-dealer index. Yeah, acting a little bit stronger than the banks. Okay, you got something like Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers had a bull flag that didn't work. It didn't fail, it just didn't work. If it failed, it would have broken first and then came back. It just fell out the bottom there. Okay, here's like a Morgan. Not really. So the XBD looks okay, but some individual stocks not really looking that great. Biotechs. Okay, so biotechs broke out of their flag. Okay, we highlighted this last week. Broke out. Looks like that wants to try for the highs. Here's Amgen on a nice pop. Here's Biogen headed for the 200-day moving average. Gilead, still not really able to get out of its own way. Let's look at the glamour stocks, as I like to call them. Jeff Bezos getting richer, starting the day off with a 0.75% gain. Nice. All-time highs. Again, I'm not looking to short in here, but when it gets extended like this, I'm also not looking to jump in. Here's Apple. Looks like it wants to break out of its flag here. Here's Alphabet. Wow, nice couple of days, Thursday, Friday. Nice push harder, higher. Nice push hard higher. There we go. Netflix up at the highs here. Looks like it's going higher. Broke out of its triangle. Just watch for these consolidations. They can be very, very powerful. How about Tesla? So Tesla's not really showing much here, although it is in a consolidation. Not really aggressive. It's good enough. Good enough for government work. So watch to see if this one breaks. Here, let's look at Caterpillar. In more of a channel than anything. Here's John Deere. So John Deere had the coil. It broke down instead. See if it could swipe through and try to move higher. Bonds. So bonds have been, wow. Nice little shot of volatility here. Nice bounce up here after hitting the lows. That was all she wrote. Came just shy of the 200-day moving average. So I'm going to wait for this to consolidate a little bit. Here's gold consolidating under the 20 and the 200-day moving average. Article in last week's Barron's talked about how speculation's going to the cryptocurrencies, and that's hurting the money flowing into gold. Okay. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's one of the reasons. It wasn't the only reason. And here's the gold miners, the GDX. My good friend Mike Swanson says, until the GDX gets over 24, people aren't really interested. What about oil? Yeah, so oil, huh? Everybody thought, oh, no, this was just a dip. A lot of people got whacked here. Because a lot of the energy ETFs, they got hit because oil continued to move lower. Things like the XLE got a bounce, but this was a pretty nice size stretch before it got this little snapback here. All right, but if you look at oil, so oil usually, there's a seasonal high around the July 4th time frame, and we're obviously still a good month away from that, but it didn't stop oil from having weakness this past week. All right, so the recap. June is the worst month historically since 1950, since in midterm election years. Does not mean we have to go down, but the average loss is 1.9%. Does not mean that has to happen. That's why it's an average. Okay, some years it's higher, and some years there are actually gains, and that means what? Oh, that's how you come up with the average. So I'm not saying we're definitely going down in June, but it's something to pay attention to. I pay attention to it as at least a background. Right now, I want to see the SPY get over 275. Try to kick in just like the Russell has, and the mid-caps, even though they had a couple of pause days, and the NASDAQ, which started off June with a bang. Okay? So let's look at that bull flag that I spoke about. Commvault Systems, Inc. Okay, it's had a nice, sharp impulse to the upside, kept going, and is now in a multi-month bull flag. And when it gets like this, sometimes I like to go up to a higher time frame, like that. And you can see it looks like a very, very pretty coil. For some reason, it's not. There we go. So it looks like a pretty coil here. So what do? We wait for the breakout. We want to see if we can get a breakout. Looks like this past week's high is the coil breakout on the weekly chart. First target would be new highs. So the highs are up there at 71.45. Let's switch it back to the daily, right? 71.45. And then from there, we could throw a Fibonacci extension, but whatever. We'll just follow it up if it starts to go. Okay? Questions? tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you like what you're hearing on the video, don't forget to subscribe to the email list for the Barron's Breakdown, as well as other intra-week updates. You will receive emails if you sign up for that list. Just being all GDPR compliant and all that, letting you know what you will receive if you do sign up. But it is free. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/attackthemarkets. Have a great trading week, and I will talk to you soon.